is up, Fort Huachuca? Welcome back to another episode of Kicking It with Kuhling. First thing I want to talk about this episode, back to school safety. School is back in starting tomorrow. So that means the little ones are going to be out on the roads. If you're driving around on the fort, be very careful, be very cognizant. Parents, make sure your kids are standing out with some bright clothing. And just as we get back into the swing of things, we want to be very safety cognizant at first. The bicyclists, have your helmets on. Just make sure we're doing all the right safety things. Bus safety, 5 steps from the curb. Always wait until the bus comes to a complete stop. Face forward when you get in your seat, and after you exit the bus, look left and right. All right, now we know we're going to be school safe. I'm very thankful to have a very special guest in studio with me today, Major General Chris Eubanks, the Netcom CG. Sir, please introduce yourself to the audience.
All right, Sergeant Major, first and foremost, thanks for having me on. Thanks for the back-to-school safety note. We sponsor one of the schools on post. We're going to be down there tomorrow welcoming school students back to school. So, appreciate the note on safety. So I'm Chris Eubanks. I'm the Commanding General, U.S. Army Network Enterprise Technology Command. Better said is Netcom. Been in the seat since April 19 of this year, so 2022. Prior to that, I was a Deputy Commanding General for now Lieutenant General Barrett. For about 9 months, and then the 7th Signal Commander out at Fort Gordon, transition to Fort Meade the 18 months prior to that. But happy to be at Fort Huachuca in the seat and taking care of the network for the Army.
Yes, sir. Awesome. Yeah, and if you could please kind of tell us about Netcom. I don't think most soldiers realize that they interact with Netcom multiple times every single day. We're kind of how and talk about how far Netcom's reach extends kind of globally.
Okay, so great question. So Netcom is a global command, 2-star operational command, responsible for operating the Army's portion of the Department of Defense Information Network. So what's that mean to the common user or soldier on a post-camper station across the continental United States or in Europe, Indo-PACOM, AOR? If you have a computer, you've been issued a phone, you have a phone on your desk, a VTC suite, that's all coming through Netcom. So we're responsible for all the network enterprise centers across the globe. That is the first touch point for every individual on an installation. Is they're the ones giving them their user agreement to sign, issuing them a computer, getting them an account, helping solve problems if there are problems. So we're a command of about 15,500 soldiers, civilians, and contractors, like I said, across the globe. We have 5 regional cyber centers, one in Konus, one in Europe, one in Southwest Asia, one in Korea, and one in Hawaii. There are 8 brigades underneath Netcom. So you have the 21st, which is the National Capital Region. You have 93rd, which is all NEX, east of the Mississippi, 106, everything west of the Mississippi. 2nd Signal Brigade owns the Europe AOR. 160th Signal Brigade owns the SWA AOR. You have 516th in Hawaii and 1st in Korea. So very dynamic organization. We're not only doing operations, maintaining, sustaining the network. We're helping your program executive offices modernize the network on a daily basis. And so very busy 24/7, 365. That's kind of Netcom in a nutshell.
Absolutely, sir. I like it. And I've been in the Army a while now, and no one praises the network when it's typically operating perfectly. It's always when it goes down. I'm like, call the NEC, let's get us back up. But thank you for that, sir. Fort Huachuca is typically known as the home of Intel and Netcom. Where do you see Fort Huachuca being in about 10 years from now?
So it's interesting you ask me that because I joke with General Hale all the time. The motto here is the edge of the frontier. What I tell him is we got to think about the future. And so whenever I think of the motto of Fort Huachuca, I think where the frontier meets the future, or maybe the future meets the frontier. There's a lot happening on this installation, and not just from a Netcom perspective. You've got the electronic proving ground, you've got JITC, all testing capability that's going to be put into the Army for the Army of 2030, right? And so, I mean, that's not far off. We're talking 8 years, not even 7.5 years, and Huachuca has a big piece of that. Not just from training MI soldiers, training MI NCOs and officers and warrant officers every day, but from a capability perspective. And we at Netcom, we think we enable those capabilities, right? So every day for us is, and I think this plays into Fort Huachuca in the future, everything right now is about all domain operations. Well, you're not doing all domain operations without what you do at Fort Huachuca, the military intelligence community and Netcom. And so, but that's where our focus is, and I think Fort Huachuca, like your other TRADOC installations, are going to tie into your FORCECOM installations and be a part of that future as we move forward. I think we're headed the right direction.
I like it. I'm very thankful to be part of it. Two questions that I love to ask senior leaders when I either have a chance to talk with them or get them on air. Everyone likes to get promoted. What have you seen throughout your career that you would describe as keys to success?
So it's I tend to tackle that from a signal perspective, right? But I think what I would tell a young signal soldier, NCO, or officer, I think applies to other branches, especially the MI, because the military intelligence, because we're very close, right?
Yes, sir.
But I think it's being passionate about what you do, coming to work every day, fired up to solve problems and get the job done, accomplish the mission. I think is number one, only behind taking care of people, right? And so taking care of people is number one to all of us, right? And that if you take care of people, the mission gets taken care of, and sooner or later everybody gets rewarded, right? And rewards come in all kinds of shapes and sizes, right? Whether it's a piece of cloth and metal or it's a promotion down the road, we promote based on performance and potential. But I tell people, come to work about being passionate about what you do and taking care of people. And then the other thing I tell people, at least from a signal perspective, is there's three things, right? You've got to be a good leader, a teammate, and then a communicator. What I would tell the military intelligence community would be a good leader, teammate, and military intelligence professional, right? An intelligence professional. And I like to say it's in that order because I think if you're a good leader, you're taking care of people, which means you're going to accomplish a mission. If you're a good teammate, I mean, enough said, right? Left, right, up, and down. Being a good teammate is paramount to kind of getting everybody moving the same direction. And then you got to know your trade craft, right? So I think those things are what get you promoted. But it starts with being passionate.
Absolutely. I agree fully, sir. And the second question, if you could snap your fingers and all of your NCOs would do this one thing a whole lot better, what would that be?
So that's a hard question. It's kind of like when you get asked, "Hey, what's your strengths and weaknesses?" Right? Nobody likes to say, "Well, I'm bad at this," or brag about themselves. I would tell you the Army NCO Corps is the best. They're called the backbone of the Army for a reason. I would tell you, I'm not sure I could put my finger on any one thing. Every NCO, from corporal to sergeant major, has their strengths and weaknesses, and so anytime I interact with folks, and whether it's a mentoring session, it's a counseling session, and counseling sessions are two ways, right? But that's where I kind of focus on. Hey, here's what I've seen, but I don't know that I could put my finger on any one thing, because the NCO Corps has changed and morphed over the years. 20 years ago, I might have said communication skills. I would tell you the NCOs you meet today can read, can write, can speak, right? And so they're communicating very well. I think they're taking care of soldiers, right? Which is really important right now because of trying to get people to join the Army. We are in a place right now with the economy and the pandemic, and it's just good NCOs and good leaders are what's bringing people into the Army today. So that's a trick question. I'm not sure I could put my finger on any one thing.
Perfect. Yes, and that's actually really good to hear, sir, because that means you have been serving around some really good NCOs recently, which is awesome. You know, like you said, the backbone of the Army. I've been fortunate enough to spend time with a lot of other partner militaries, and the NCO Corps is what they crave. They're trying to get their NCO Corps kind of to where ours is now, and you know we're still trying to get better day by day as well. Sir, anything else you'd like to share with the audience?
No, I think I'll leave you with Netcom is here at Fort Huachuca. We are a part of the community. I think we're being a good tenant.
Absolutely.
The garrison would tell me whether we are or not, but we want to be a good tenant. We want to be a part of the community. You know, every time I see the mayor, I challenge him with something for Sierra Vista. I tell him, you know, how do I help you? You know, and so, but we're here, and we like our partners, and we're here to get after making the network work every day and provide services at the right point to the right person each and every day. And so we're here to support you.
Excellent, sir. And you have been an awesome partner. Netcom has been an awesome partner since I've been here, and Sergeant Major McCoy has done a lot of really, really awesome things to help the garrison and the other units be better and get better at some stuff. So we absolutely appreciate that. Sir, thanks again for joining me. I hope to get your battle buddy on it sometime as well. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Next week, I'm going to put out some of that Army Wellness Center stuff. We're going to tell you how you can join the competition. And until then, be safe.